If you're watching this right now, there's a good chance you're emotionally exhausted, tired of meeting people, hoping with your whole heart that this time's the one, only to end up emptier than before. Each encounter leaves you more confused. You ask Allah for clarity, but what you receive feels more like silence. You wonder, am I being too picky? Too difficult to love? Is this even what love is supposed to feel like? Everyone around you makes it look effortless, as if love just finds them without them even asking. But for you, it feels like Allah is holding something back, maybe even punishing you. But here's what no one tells you. When someone is truly written for you by Allah, your heart doesn't race with anxiety. It settles into peace. And that peace is the one thing you've been searching for in all the wrong places. It's what your soul has been aching for in every failed relationship, in every sleepless night. If you truly want to recognize when someone is meant to be, then listen carefully, because what I'm about to share might be the answer Allah wants you to hear, before you waste one more second doubting your worth or questioning your do-as. Scene transition, sign 1. It feels peaceful, not perfect. The problem isn't that you don't know what you want. The problem is you become used to wanting the wrong things. Think about it. Every time someone shows interest in you, your mind instantly races. Could this be it? Is this the answer to my due? And before they've even shown you who they are, you've already fit them into your future. You start building castles in your mind. You create entire storylines. You dream about wedding photos, share routines, and imagine conversations, while ignoring the warning signs Allah placed right in front of you. Why? Because deep down you're scared. Scared of waiting too long. Scared of ending up alone. Scared that maybe, just maybe, Allah forgot about you. But here's a truth that might shake your soul in the best way. When the right person, the person written by Allah, finally enters your life, your heart won't feel like it needs to beg, convince, or overthink. It won't feel like chaos. It will feel like peace. Not fireworks. Not butterflies. Just a quiet calm. The kind that whispers, this is what I asked for, even if I forgot. Allah's signs aren't always loud. They're often subtle. Hidden in that sense of peace you feel around the right person. That clarity you feel after praying istikhara. That sense of stillness that washes over your heart when nothing else makes sense. The Quran describes this kind of love beautifully. And among his signs is that he created for you mates from among yourselves, so that you may find tranquility in them. Surah Haram. Notice Allah didn't say excitement, or confusion, or obsession. He said tranquility. Sakina. If you're not feeling that, maybe it's not what Allah planned for you. And maybe, just maybe, that is the first sign you've been ignoring. Scene transition, sign 2. It matches a dua you forgot you made. Have you ever met someone new and felt a strange sense of familiarity? As if your soul recognized theirs. Even though your paths have never crossed before, it's subtle, feels like déjà vu, but deeper. And then, in a quiet moment, maybe while you're praying or journaling or reflecting during a lonely night, it suddenly hits you. This person matches a dua you made long ago. A dua whispered through tears on a prayer mat. A prayer made in desperation when your heart felt broken. A plea you whispered in the silence of the night. Ya Allah, send me someone who will understand my silence, who will bring calm to my chaos, who will lighten the weight I've carried for too long. But life went on. You moved forward. You tucked that prayer away in a chapter you thought you closed. Until now, because this person, their kindness, their calmness, their timing, feels like an answer to a dua you didn't even remember making. And that's the beauty of Allah's plan. He never forgets what you ask for, even when you do. Outro scene, fade into soft instrumental, visuals of calm waters, hands raised in dua. So if you're tired of wondering whether you're enough, if you're questioning whether love written by Allah will ever find you, then pause, because the signs are already there. They're not loud. They're not dramatic. They're peaceful. They're found in the stillness of a moment, in the calm after a istikhara, in the presence of someone who doesn't just make your heart race, but makes your soul rest. Stay tuned for more signs that you're walking toward what Allah has written for you. And remember, what is meant for you will feel like home, not a battlefield. Life is continued. The old duas whispered through tears and sujud, the ones you made on sleepless nights, have faded into memory. And yet, here you are, watching this person speak, noticing how they treat others, observing the way they carry themselves, and something feels strangely familiar. You can't explain it, but there's a quiet pull in your chest. It's not drama. It's not butterflies. It's something deeper. It's as if Allah is gently nudging you from within, saying, "Remember what you asked me for? This is it." You forgot, but he didn't. And the most surprising part, it's rarely what you expected. Maybe you imagined someone pious, poetic, perfect, someone who'd sweep you off your feet. But instead, Allah sent you someone whose very presence grounds you. Someone who doesn't recite verses with eloquence, but whose character echoes the mercy and humility of a believer. Someone who reminds you of Allah not by quoting hadith, but by simply living with integrity, kindness, and presence. They aren't flawless. Neither are you. But somehow, their presence alone calls you back. To your prayer mat, to sincere dua, to the quiet conviction that you want to be better. You find yourself protecting your modesty more consciously. You begin watching your tone, your habits, your thoughts, not out of fear, but because being around them softens you, nudges you gently back toward the path you had wandered from. That right there is a divine sign, a mercy hidden in simplicity. Allah's answers are rarely loud. They don't descend in lightning bolts or echo from the heavens. More often, they're wrapped in ordinary people with extraordinary timing, subtle, calm, and easy to miss if you're too focused on searching for what you imagine, rather than what your soul truly needs. Making it with the desperation of someone who already made a decision and just wants Allah to co-sign it, but real istikhara changes you, it grounds you, it shifts your question from, is this the one, to Allah? If this is not for me, take it away from me. Even if I want it, that's where the clarity begins. Because then when things fall apart, you don't panic, you feel disappointed, yeah. But somewhere deep down, you also feel at peace, like something bigger than you is protecting you from something your heart couldn't see. Thing about a time in your life when you begged Allah for something, a job, a person, a door you were convinced had to open, and it didn't. It slammed shut in your face. Back then it felt like rejection. But now looking back, you can see the mercy in that closed door. That's a sticker, not magic, not mystery. Just quiet clarity that Allah delivers exactly when your heart needs it most. So if things are suddenly getting clearer, if you're no longer as anxious, if certain doors are closing on their own and others opening gently without resistance, that's a sign, not from your emotions, from your Rob sign. 5, you're not trying to fix them, you're growing with them. There's a difference between loving someone for who they are and loving the idea of who they could be if they just changed a little. And most people don't notice how much they're doing the second one until it's too late. You meet someone, and from the beginning, you're already making mental notes. He just needs to become more. Practicing, she'll start wearing hijab. Once we're married, they just need some guidance. I can help it that you think you're being patient, supportive, loyal, but what you're actually doing is putting yourself in a spiritual repair role. You're trying to build someone into a better Muslim, while ignoring how they're affecting your own iman in the process. But when someone is truly written for you, it doesn't feel like you're pulling them forward or pushing them to catch up. It feels like you're walking side by side. Even if you're not in the exact same place spiritually, they're not dragging you down with excuses. They're inspiring you to level up. Without saying a word, you find yourself wanting to pray more just by being around them. You catch them making dua quietly when no one's looking, to remind you of Allah, not through lectures, but through the way they carry themselves when nobody's watching. That's not potential, that's presence. And when you see that, you realize this isn't someone you have to fix. This is someone you can grow with, someone who holds you accountable in private, someone who reminds you of Jannah. When you're caught up in dunya, someone who isn't perfect, but whose imperfections don't cost you your connection with Allah. That's the final sign. Because marriage isn't a rescue mission, it's a growth contract. And if you're not already growing while you're with them, you're not ready to walk into forever. Now, listen, these aren't the only signs that someone is meant for you. Every story is different. Every test is personal. This video wasn't meant to give you a checklist to go chasing people. It was meant to give you a mirror, a way to pause, to feel, to reflect on whether the person you're drawn to is pulling you closer to Allah or just deeper into yourself. Because when something is from Allah, it's not just about how it makes you feel, it's about who it makes you become. So if any part of this video resonated with you, if it made you think of someone or made you rethink, someone drop a comment and just write, "Yeah, Allah, guide me to what's written for me and protect me from what isn't." That's it. Let it be your silent duo. And maybe Allah counts it as the beginning of your clarity. May Allah protect your heart from attachment to anything that isn't higher. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala replace your confusion with conviction. And when the time is right, may bring you someone who reminds you of him more than they distract you from him. If this video hit your heart, don't. Just click away, click that like button so more people see it. Subscribe if you haven't already and turn on the bell so you don't miss what's coming next. We're not here to just scroll past reminders. We're here to build better hearts. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.